Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Speak English with Kevin podcast. Great to be back with you. My name is Teacher Kevin. It was a beautiful sunny day in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam today. I hope you are having the best days wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Let's speak some English. Now, here at the English with Kevin podcast, it's all English all the time. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of talking. And this is for you to listen, to develop your listening skills, and also I want you to repeat. Okay, you have the podcast, so you can play, pause, repeat, and I want you to get in the habit of getting in front of a mirror and repeating these podcasts through the course of the following week. Very easy to do. If you would just give me 30 to 45 minutes each day at your convenience, I think it would be perfect. So here we go. I want to start out today with something a little lighter, okay? So just relax, turn your volume up a little bit. Hopefully you're in a place where you can take a moment and just listen. I want to talk about some cultural differences. Maybe they apply to you, maybe they don't. They certainly do apply to me, as I am a United States citizen living in Vietnam. That makes me an expat. Okay, we all know what an expat is. An expat is a person who chooses to leave their home country and live in a different country abroad. And that's what I've done. Me and my wife live here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We have a couple little coffee shops we run, and I love to make videos. I love to teach English. I've been teaching English off and on now for several years here in Southeast Asia. Now currently semi-retired. Now I have some more time to devote to the camera. So hopefully if I can help one person improve their English, I'm a happy teacher. So let's look at some of the cultural differences. Now, coming from the United States to Southeast Asia, one thing probably top of my list was the bathroom bung wash. Okay, the bung wash. We all know what that is. Now, I really wasn't aware of it coming from the United States, but I quickly became aware of it upon arrival in Vietnam. So most of your Vietnamese bathrooms will have this bung wash, okay? They claim it's much cheaper and much better than toilet paper, okay? I'm a paper guy. I prefer the paper, but hey, that's just me. I think it's okay, but it's definitely a difference in culture, okay? So another one is shoes off at the door. Shoes off at the door. Now, yes, we take our shoes off normally in America when we come in. Not everybody does. Most people do. Most homes in America have what we call a mudroom. Maybe it's a back door entrance to a back bathroom called a mudroom, where you can come in, take off your dirty shoes, dirty clothes, what have you. But the culture here in Southeast Asia is very strict about taking your shoes off at a person's home door before you step in. It's a show of respect. You don't want to drag your dirty feet into somebody's home. But still, it's a cultural difference between East and West. Another one is probably the come here signal. Come here. Now, if you're watching video, I'll show you the come here signal. Okay, the come here signal. Now, in the West, it would appear you're waving to someone, okay? And if you don't have the video, if you're just listening, I have my arm straight out and my hand is kind of wagging in a way that says hello. Actually, no. In Vietnam, that's a symbol to come here, okay? Come here. When I arrived in Vietnam, I noticed a lady across the street doing that. I thought she was waving at me, so I'm waving at her. No. She's talking to someone behind me, telling them to come to her, come to her. So, just different culture. Another one that you'll see in Southeast Asia a lot is a culture of men walking down the street holding hands, women doing the same, arm in arm. Now, that's not something you see every day in the Western world, okay? But in Southeast Asia, it's very common. So if you travel abroad and come to Southeast Asia, don't be surprised if you see men walking down the street, arm in arm, hand in hand, okay? Doesn't mean anything. It just means they're friends and they're enjoying each other's company. But again, the cultural differences sometimes can be vast. So if you're planning to live abroad or travel abroad or perhaps go to university abroad, just be prepared for something different. Research ahead of time and make sure you understand the cultural differences so you don't offend anybody, okay? Very important, very important. Okay, now let's move on a little bit to one of my favorite subjects. Again, as you know from listening to me in the past, I love to work on personal development. It's so important that you get your mind right. Even when learning English, it's very important that you have a good, positive mental attitude. This will help you, this will aid you in opening your mind and allowing you to learn. So it's very important. Now, you know, most people's biggest fear is talking in front of other people or talking to a camera, making a video like I'm doing now. A lot of people are just scared to death to speak, and they're worried about what someone might think of them, okay? That's a self-image problem. Your self-image is very important. Now, what is self-image? Well, let me read from my notes because I want to get it right. Self-image refers to the mental picture that you have about yourself, the way you see and think about yourself, both physically and emotionally. When you have a healthy self-image, it can boost your confidence, make you feel good about your accomplishments, and help you overcome challenges. Very important. Now, let me give you a couple tips. Let me give you a couple rules to live by here that's going to help you improve your self-image and give you more confidence, which confidence is very important when it comes to speaking English. Number one, here's number one tip. Accept yourself, okay? Self-talk, okay? Put positive thoughts in. I am amazing. I am worthy. I am a fluent English speaker. Tell yourself these things in the morning because I promise you it will help, because your brain, okay, this computer up here, it believes everything you tell it. Now, the flip side of that is it believes everything everybody else tells it also. So you have to channel that negativity out in order to improve your self-image and gain more confidence in speaking, more confidence in a business meeting, more confidence in making a presentation for a university class. It's just all around good to have a good self-image and feel good about yourself. It's so important. Number two, take care of your body. Okay, eat, sleep, be healthy. Get your rest, eat good food, stay hydrated, and you will feel better about yourself. Look good, okay, show up looking good, and you will feel, it will help you feel great about yourself, and you will gain confidence. Step three, dress for success, okay? Look nice when you go out, right? Common sense. Obviously, if you're going to a work site or going to a job interview, okay, you want to dress appropriately. So you look nice, so you make a good first impression. First impressions are very important when it comes to business or anything working with other people. You want to make a good first impression, and dressing for success will do that. Number four, good hygiene. I think this goes without saying. Brush your teeth, right? Wash your face, cut your hair, look good, okay? Good hygiene, be clean. People appreciate that, and I think you'll get more attention out of a crowd if you have good hygiene. Again, it's just common sense. Number five, surround yourself with positive people. Now, I could go on with this one for hours, okay? So important of the people that you let into your circle and how they affect the way you think, okay? Don't let negative people pull you off track of your journey, okay? Keep your focus, keep your vision, keep your eye on the prize, and surround yourself with positive people who can help you achieve your goals. Very important. Number six, stop comparing yourself to others. This is a losing thing from the very beginning. You cannot compare yourself to others. You are special. You were put here for a purpose, okay, by a creator, I believe. And again, I don't get into religion a whole lot, but I am a Christian, I do believe in a living God, and I pull strength and confidence from that, knowing I have a creator, okay, knowing that I didn't evolve from a monkey or whatever. That just does not make sense to me. I have a living creator. That gives me extra power. He tells me that in his word. So whether you're a Christian, I hope you believe in something, okay? My wife is a Buddhist. She practices Buddhism. It's similar to Christianity, and I respect her right in being able to do that. So just believe in something, surround yourself with positive people, look good all the time, take care of your body, and put positive thoughts in your brain. That's a great way to get you going on the right track, even when learning English. Now, I have 5 more new words coming for you a little later. First of all, let's look at fluency, okay? What is fluency? We want to be English fluent, yes? Okay, what is fluency? Let me read this. English fluency refers to the ability of an individual to communicate effectively using the English language. It involves proper pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary, and the ability to speak, read, write, and comprehend English with ease. Fluency can be achieved through consistent practice and exposure to the language, whether through formal education, conversations with native speakers, or immersion in English-speaking environments. Achieving fluency is important for individuals who wish to pursue academic, professional, or personal opportunities that require English proficiency. Being fluent in English can open up a world of opportunities for individuals, allowing them to communicate effortlessly on a global scale. Okay? That is the definition of fluency. Now, do you need to be fluent to operate in the English world? I don't think so. I think you need to be proficient. Okay? I think you need to be proficient. I think that's very important. Maybe that would be at the competent or good level, because if you look at the IELTS scoring scale, it's a scale from 0 to 9, 9 being the best. A 0 did not attempt the test. Okay, so a 1 is a non-user, someone who basically speaks no English. A 2 is an intermittent user, maybe a little bit of English. 3 is extremely limited, can speak some words but can't really run a conversation. 4 is limited to certain conversation, probably popular or often traveled things that you do throughout your day. You could have a limited fluency. 5 is modest, okay, but not great. 6, competent. Now we're getting there. Hopefully right now, wherever you're at in your English journey, I hope that you are at least a 5 or a 6, okay? I hope that you are either modest or competent in your English right now, and then we can build on that and get you up another level or 2. After competent, level 7, a 7 scoring on the IELTS test is good, and 8 is very good. That's where I would like to see you at, and a 9 is expert. Now 9 is very hard to attain. It will take you some time, but if you can get to a 7 or an 8, if you can get to a good or very good, you can function in the business world speaking English, okay? So I just wanted to bring that to you. The IELTS testing it's difficult. It's not easy, okay? You're not going to memorize your way through an IELTS test, mainly because the examiner is a human, okay? It's not a machine. That human is going to detect that you've been memorizing, and they will change it up to get you off guard. So you can't fake it. You can't memorize your way through an IELTS. You have to do the work and learn the language, okay? And that just takes time and practice, okay? It takes a lot of practice. You have to listen. Listening is key. Listening is key when you're learning English, okay? You have to hear it before you can say it. I think that just makes makes good sense, right? Okay. Now, I do want to do some reading today. I do want to give you some stuff to listen to. Very important that you do this throughout the week. Okay, and again, my podcast, I'm going to do some reading, but I just wanted to say that I like to keep my podcast between 30 and 40 minutes. Now, I see some of these English speaking podcasts that go on for hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, 2 hours. And if that's your thing, great. But I think my personal opinion is it's too much. If you can get a good 30 to 45 minutes each week with a native English speaker like myself, I think you can really improve your level and go up a number or two on the IELTS scale. That's my hope. That's what I'm working for. So let me grab my book here. I got a neat, okay, got my book. Let's do a little reading. Let's read just a few short stories and see if we can work on some English comprehension. Here's our first story. This one is called Same and Different. Mrs. Kumar likes to shop for her twins. Today she's looking at sweaters. There are many different colors on sale. Mrs. Kumar chooses the 2 matching green sweaters. The next day, Manda and Anya open their gifts. Manda likes the green sweater, but Anya is disappointed. Mrs. Kumar understands the problem. Anya wants to be different. Manda keeps her sweater, but Anya goes to the store. She exchanges her green sweater for a navy blue sweater. It's an easy answer to Anya's problem. Now the twins can be warm, happy, and different. Okay, let's ask these questions. Who is the woman shopping for? Okay, who's she shopping for? She's shopping for her 2 daughters, correct? Okay, does she buy matching sweaters or different sweaters? Well, she bought matching sweaters at first, but one of the daughters didn't like the collar. What does Manda do with her sweater? What does she do with it? She takes it and exchanges it, yes? Gets one of the color that she likes. Okay. Underline the last sentence in each paragraph. Why are these sentences important? That's part of your homework this week. Okay, I want you to reread the paragraph. Underline the last sentence in each paragraph. Why are these sentences important? Number 2, retell the story in your own words. Okay, retell it in your words. How would you tell the story? 3, imagine you are Anya. Would you keep the sweater or exchange it? And why? So think about these things. I want you to put those answers in. That's part of reading comprehension. Okay? Let's look at another one. Very short stories. This one is called A Family Reunion. Ben Liu has a lot of relatives, and they're all at his house. Today is the Liu family reunion. There is a lot of good food. There are also balloons and a banner. And this year, there are 4 new babies. People are having a good time at the reunion. Ben's grandfather and his aunt are talking about the baseball game. His cousins are laughing. His mother-in-law is giving her opinion, and many of the children are misbehaving. Ben looks at his family and smiles. He loves his relatives, but he's glad the reunion is only once a year. Okay, all right, how about some questions? How many relatives are there at this reunion? Okay, I want you to go back and reread, and I want you to answer this time. How many relatives are there at this reunion? Number 2, how many children are there? Which children are misbehaving? Okay, so again, I want you to replay this and go back and answer these questions. This gives you some English comprehension. You have to understand what you're reading. Okay, very good. Now, reread the story. Find this sentence in the story. Quote, he loves his relatives, but he's glad the reunion is only once a year. End quote. Now, explain what this sentence means. I want you to read this and think about it and understand what this sentence means. 2, retell the story in your own words. Again, very easy. Make some notes. I want you to rewrite it. You get some writing practice, and I want you to tell the story in your own words. Okay? Very good. And then the last question, what do you think? You are at Ben's party. You see a child misbehave. No other guests see him. What do you do? What do you say? Okay? Things to think about. Real world things that happen every day. All right? Let's read one more. I've got another short one. It's called the tenant meeting. What are tenants? Tenants are people who live in the same building. Okay? They're tenants. Sally Lopez and Tina Green are roommates. They live in apartment 2B. One night they had a big party with music and a DJ. There was a mess in the hallway. Their neighbors were very unhappy. Mr. Clark in 2A was very irritated. He hates noise. The next day there was a tenant meeting. Everyone wanted rules about parties and loud music. The girls were very embarrassed. After the meeting, the girls cleaned the mess in the hallway. Then they gave each neighbor an invitation to a new party. Everyone had a good time at the rec room party. Now the tenants have 2 new rules and a new place to dance. Okay? Let's answer these questions. Again, I want you to reread these 3 paragraphs and answer these questions. What happened in apartment 2B? Okay, what happened in apartment number 2B? How many people were there? How did the neighbor feel and why? What rules did they write at the tenant meeting? What did the roommates do after the tenant meeting? Okay, read the story, use some English comprehension, and find out the answers. Okay, reread the story. Find the word irritated in paragraph 1. What does it mean in this story? What does the word irritated mean in this story? Retell the story in your own words. And then what do you think? Imagine you are the neighbor in 2A. What do you say to Tina and Sally? What are the most important rules in an apartment building and why? Okay, I want you to think about these. I want you to come up with the answers yourself. Okay? All right. So, with that, we should probably review our 5 vocabulary words from last week. Okay? Let me peruse my notes here. I lost my place. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Our words from last week. Our first word from last week was synergy. Synergy. Hopefully you found the definition and you put it with a sentence. Okay, every week we're going to build vocabulary. It's so important to have a big vocabulary. It makes you more intelligent. Okay. Our second word was paradigm. Paradigm. Did you get the definition? Did you make a sentence with it? I hope so. Third word was disruptive. Disruptive. Again, hopefully you found the definition and you made a sentence or even 2. Very good practice. Our fourth word was stakeholder. Stakeholder. And our last word last week was matrix. Matrix. Okay? So those were our words from last week. Now, okay, so that was last week's words. Now, let's move on to this week. We have 5 brand new words that I want you to, same as last week, look up the definition, make a sentence or 2, and I want you to work in front of the mirror, watching your mouth, watching your pronunciation, okay? I want you to reread the words in a sentence, okay? Here's your 5 new words. First word, proficient. P-R-O-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. Proficient. Second word, concise. C-O-N-C-I-S-E. Concise. Third word, comprehensive. C-O-M-P-R-E-H-E-N-S-I-V-E. Comprehensive. Fourth word, coherent. C-O-H-E-R-E-N-T. Coherent. And the 5th and last word for this week is illustrate. I-L-L-U-S-T-R-A-T-E. illustrate. There we go, 5 of them, brand new. Now, find the definitions, make a sentence or 2 with each word, and then throughout the week, I want you to practice saying those into the mirror, okay? Listening, again, listen. Listening is key to learning English. I can't say that enough. You have to listen a lot, okay? You need to listen to this podcast every day. That's why I try to keep it to 30 to 45 minutes each podcast. So over a break, lunch, your spare time, you really need to listen because that's the key to learning. We have to hear it before we could speak it. Okay, very good. Now, that will about do it for us today. I hope wherever you are, you have a great week ahead, okay? I'm so excited. Take this podcast, reread it, okay? Write it. If you can write it, because as I said, when we get on Whiteboard Wednesdays, we will be doing some video work on the whiteboard, writing, grammar, punctuation, pronunciation, and I'll also get you into some phrases and get you into some American slang, okay? Very important, very popular. So we got all that to come, so a lot of good stuff coming, okay? Hope you stay healthy, take care of one another, and I'll see you next week. Thank you guys.